The character device, dialogue device, and dialogue action device are all new devices available in Gimkit Creative, specifically right now to season ticket holders. So these devices are all great for enhancing the storytelling options in your game and the ways that players can interact with elements of the game. So the character device could just be used as a decoration. It's kind of like a sentry, but it doesn't actually try to attack you. It could also be used as an NPC or a non-player character. If you think back to those vintage games, these are the places that you go to get more information or get stuff or have conversations and learn more about the story behind your game. So I have my character set up here, and if I click in, I have most of the typical options that you would expect in a Gimkit device. I do have the ability to choose from a bunch of different Gim skins, so I have a lot of options in terms of setting up different characters in my game, and I can even control um, which way they're facing and all of that stuff. Um, So you'll see that I have my character connected to a dialogue device. So a dialogue device is similar to other text-based devices in that I can set up a message. I do have 4 spots for actions. So these actions are like buttons, um, and each button can do a different thing. Here's the button title and then the channel that it's tied to. So, working with channels, you can do all kinds of different things in this game. Um, and so I have the character tied to this dialogue device. So if we click on the wire, we'll see that when we interact with the character, it opens that dialogue box. So let's see what that looks like. Go in here and interact. And I get a nice little pop-up down here. And again, this looks closer to what you would expect in those vintage story-based games. And I have my calls to action here. Now you see I have my 4 calls to action that I set up in that dialogue device, and then I have this fifth action button here, which is actually part of my dialogue action device. So the dialogue action device is the third device that's new here, and it's a way of adding actions to that dialogue and controlling them in different ways. So I have this one set up, um, free item, and you'll notice that we have all kinds of options with this particular action. I can put it in a group. So this works similar to the teleporters, where I could set up groups of dialogue devices and have this particular button only show up for, a certain group. So that's one way of controlling it. I can deactivate it after use, so it becomes a one-time only kind of button, which is a really handy game mechanic, controlling the amount of times you can get an item or get information or whatever kind of action you want to connect to that button. And then activate when receiving and deactivate when receiving are nice too, because you can make the button only available if the player has done something else in the game. So just to kind of demonstrate that, I'll run in and I'll interact with my character just to see that action button again. I have my free item button here. And then I've tied triggering this platform to deactivating that button. So when I step on that platform, it should send broadcast a channel telling me to make that button go away or to deactivate it. And it did. Now that button is no longer available. So characters are great ways to add NPC actions to your game. Tying them to device or to dialogue devices lets you have richer storytelling and player interaction. And the dialogue action device kind of takes that to an advanced level of player interaction, giving you a lot of control over the different ways that players can be presented options.